Hi everyone, my name is Henry. So last quarter, I worked with Seattle Neighborhood Greenways on the project Pedestrianized Pike Place Market. Some background information about Pike Place. So it is one of the most famous street, the most busiest tourist destination in Seattle, and there are over 10 million visitors a year on average. And currently, there's a mixture of pedestrians, private vehicles, and delivery trucks today. So in figure one, you can see that there are some people lining up on the sidewalk, um, ready to enter to the shop, while there's a white vehicle parked on the street, and other private vehicles are trying to cross the street. So this is really a chaotic situation right now, and vehicles parked on the street really narrow down the spaces for the main street, and there are currently low walkability and accessibility for elderly and disabled. For my research question, I worked on understanding the views of vendors at Pike Place Market towards the idea of pedestrianization, and I hypothesis that vendors tend to oppose the idea of pedestrianizing Pike Place because fewer vehicles might decrease their income. For my internship and method, I interned with Seattle Neighborhood Greenways on the project Pedestrianized Pike Place Market, and throughout the internship, I visited Pike Place in person to interview business owners and employees about the idea of pedestrianizing Pike Place. So interviewees express their opinions and concern about the idea and just talk whatever they want. During my internship, 67 responses were collected, with 52 participants indicated their supportive level on the idea. So there are some problems happening right now. First of all, private vehicles, including both vendors and visitors, sometimes they park at the main street and taken the spots for loading unloading purposes, which creates conflicts because delivery trucks may need to find some way further away and in order to park to deliver the products to vendors. Secondly, pedestrians have to be alert of private vehicles when crossing the street, which degraded the experience. So typically, it's just because you have to be alert, not by hitting by a car. Instead of you can walk freely and talk to anyone while crossing the street. And lastly, GPS mislead visitors directly to the main street, though the store is not on the main street, maybe it's in the bottom ground or it's just somewhere else, but this creates a huge vehicle flow on the main street. So for my survey results, we can see that vendors overwhelmingly support the idea of pedestrianizing Pike Place Market. And for arguments in favor, so currently vendors said that it is a chaotic street environment and we have to improve it. And also pedestrianize can reduce the chances in having road rage events, as well as the collisions between private vehicles and pedestrians. And pedestrians can also increase accessibility for elderly and disabled. For vendors who disagree with the idea, they mention that parking garage is too expensive, especially for workers. It is around 275 a month, so it is really unaffordable. And there's a far distance to the parking garage, so they worried about customers because some customers may have heavy products such as wine and a lot of fishes, and they have to carry a long way to the parking garage, which might make them don't want to visit the market again. So the advantage for a full closure of Pike Place is that we can have tables and seat on the street and also provide a walkable environment to everyone, a better experience for visitors, especially for tourists, and like attract them to come back again. And also studies show that um, pedestrianize actually brings an increase of income for vendors because people love to walk. So for some solutions that we came up from the interview, we found that we need better enforcement for existing parking regulations because some vehicles had never received tickets from traffic enforcement, while some of the private vehicles received more than 10 tickets from the traffic enforcement. So there's still an improvement needed. And secondly, redirect GPS and bring vehicle to the parking garage instead of the main street, and also have limited hours for private vehicles and delivery trucks that could have people walking on the street out of the limited hours. And for the broader implications, pedestrian streets provide a safer, healthier, and more equitable place for everyone to live, to walk, and we want to promote public transport and encourage people not to drive. As you know, like the light rail is really convenient to the Pike Place, so we want to encourage people not to drive. And also, pedestrianize definitely have a benefit to our like climate change, reduces air and noise pollution as well as greenhouse gas emissions. So that is the end of my presentation, and I would like to acknowledge my site supervisor, Gordon, my faculty advisor team, my classmates, my family and friends, especially my internship partner, Kat, and thank you for all supporting me during my internship.